What's good everyone? Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video I will show you how we can automatically download Gmail attachments and upload them to Google Drive with N8N. And you already can see my screen, so this is how the automation gonna look like. So this is the final automation. Basically, you can supercharge this, add AI into this, add different rules to the labels, to the filters, and automate the management of your Google Drive fully. But in this case, I'm going to show you how, for example, when an email comes in, it has an attachment. That attachment automatically is being saved to Google Drive, and the workflow finishes. So also, I will have this workflow where you can download, upload it, and just run it. So there's going to be a link in the description down below. But without further ado, let's just start building it step by step, so you can see how it works and how you can build the same thing for yourself. So right now, I'm just gonna move this to the side so I could reference it, and I'm gonna start a new workflow. So we have the first step that we need to add, and for this one, it's gonna be a Gmail trigger. So I'm just gonna enter Gmail, and for triggers, we're gonna select on message received. So for credentials, I already have some of the credentials. So for example, I'm gonna choose this one. Then for poll times, so I'm going to be checking the email, my inbox every minute. That means if a new email comes in, basically it's going to check every minute for that. Then important thing is to uncheck the simplify, because if we keep the simplify checked, that means we're not going to be able to download attachments. So you can, when you see, when you click simplify and it has it enabled, there's no other options. You uncheck it and you have an option to download attachments. So just enable this. And for example, if I go to my Gmail, you can see that I already have an email, just a test email from myself. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna click fetch test email, and right away, because I selected download attachments, I'm downloading 2 attachments as binary data. And then in the table or in the JSON, you have all of the details, all the other details from the email. So now the next step for me is going to be to add a filter. And the reason why I'm adding the filter is because I don't want to this workflow to keep running if there are actually no attachments in the email. So for this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to select expression, and maybe I should zoom in. Oh, it's already zoomed in. So what I'm gonna do here, so I'm gonna enter the curly brackets, then add Gmail trigger, then dot item, dot binary, and then I'm gonna select here an object and exists. So for example, if now I test this step, I can see that one item passed through this filter, which was the email with the attachments. So already have what I need to filter out unnecessary emails. And the next step, which might be surprising to you, but it's going to be again Gmail step, and this is going to be a get message step. So I'm doing this because I will need to pass on binary data later on. So for this, again, I'm select my credential, and for the message, I'm going to go to the schema, and yeah, so I'm gonna, for example, for the filter, it passes through with the message ID. So I'm gonna select the message ID, and again, I'm gonna unselect simplify, and I'm gonna add an option to download attachments. That's the step, and we already receiving the attachments. So that means it passed through the filter. It means it has the attachments, and we should move along with our workflow. Then another thing that we have to do is set particular variables that are going to be needed further on. So the first variable that I'm going to set is going to be attachments. And here, what I'm essentially going to do is I'm going to build an array with attachment IDs. So here, what I'm going to do, again, probably I'm going to press expression, then double curly brackets. Here, what I'm gonna do is, I think JSON, then let's select item. Oh, it doesn't return item. Let me just go back. So it's email, Gmail. Okay, so let's select this earlier nodes, Gmail, then dot item, yes, so item is being returned, dot binary, and dot keys, and like so, we have a array that's going to be returned. So over here, I'm going to add another variable, which is going to be message ID. And here again, I'm going to choose expression, double curly brackets, JSON dot ID, and I'm going to get the ID of the Gmail message. So if I run test this step, you can see I received the data and I have both attachment IDs and the message ID from which those attachments are. So the next step is going to be a split out module or node. So I'm going to add split out. And here I just need to add a field which has to be split out. So since here we have two items, so I'm going to select attachments and drag it like so. And also I'm going to select all other fields. So for example, when I test the step, you can see that now we have two items. For example, if you go into the JSON structure, you can see it clearly, and in the table as well. So I have message ID, which is going to be the same, and then attachments is going to be a unique attachment ID for each of the attachments. So this is necessary to then extract the binary data. But for example, I'm going to zoom out so it would be a bit clearer. But now the next node that I need to select is merge. And merge node is going to be used for me to basically combine the attachment IDs with the binary data that we received from Gmail. So here I'm going to select the mode combine, combine by matching fields, and fields to match have different names. So for example, right now you can see that from the split out, we're getting into the input one. So the input one, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn on the schema, and I'm gonna see that split out has the ID of basically the key for the ID is message ID. So that's what I'm gonna type in, message ID. And for the Gmail, the ID is going to be just ID. So I'm going to leave it like so. And then I need to select, yeah, then I think we're good to go with this one. Now we just need to add a second output, which is going to be the Gmail node. And this one is going to be responsible for passing the binary data into the merge node. So let's give it a test, I think. And let's just run it, and you can see that we passed two items. So let's click on it, and we already have two items. So we have, for example, message ID, which is the original message. And again, we can check even the Gmail trigger. Yes, the original ID. And then I have an attachment ID for that message ID. So attachment 0, if I scroll down, attachment 1. So that's exactly what we needed. So we need to know both of that attachments. And the next thing that I'm gonna do is add an upload attachments to Google Drive node. So let's select Google Drive and upload file. In here, I'm gonna select operation upload, input field name. So this is gonna be an expression, again, curly brackets, JSON dot attachments. And as you can see, it grabs the attachment ID. And in the name, what I'm gonna need here to do, so it's basically I can give any name that I want, but for example, in my case, I wanna do is, I'm gonna write curly brackets, then I'm gonna select the Gmail node, then I'm gonna say dot item, dot JSON, dot subject. So I wanna know which one is a subject, and then I'm gonna go outside the expression. I'm gonna type in the underscore, again, two curly brackets. And again, I'm gonna select merge dot item dot json dot attachments. And in the result below, you can see the final name that is going to be produced. So this is a message which attachments underscore attachment 0. And for example, when I save those attachments, I clearly know that from which email in particular the attachment was by the subject of the email. So for example, I'm going to leave it like so. I'm not sure if I should create a folder. Maybe, yeah, we can create a new test folder. So I'm going to name test attachments. I'm going to create the folder like so. So we have the folder test attachments. I'm going to go inside it. I'm going to go back here and parent drive, my drive, parent folder, root folder. So now maybe I can select the test attachments folder and let's test the step. So it's executing. Hopefully it will successfully execute, and we can see that the output has been passed for 2 items. So we have one Google Drive ID file and another. So let's go back to the file attachments. Maybe let's refresh it. And here we go. We have 2 attachments that were transferred directly from Gmail to Google Drive. So for example, if I click onto one, it's a previous message from one of my workflows. And if I click on another one, there's another image of a workflow that I built previously. So yeah, as you can see, we successfully passed the attachments from Gmail trigger down to the Google Drive. And for example, if right now I would save it, I would turn on the workflow, I would press got it. That means that every time I will receive a new let's say Gmail email, what's gonna happen? It's gonna trigger this workflow. It's gonna check if there are any attachments in the file. If there is, it's gonna go through this path and it's gonna upload to the particular Google Drive folder that I chose. And in a case, for example, when you have different labels, or for example, different recipients are sending you different attachments, you can add basically labels to your emails and then add if statement, switch statement, whatever you want to automatically add attachments to different Google Drive folders. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that this is helpful. If again you want to download the whole workflow, it's going to be down in the description below, where you can download it, upload it to N8N and just run it out of the box. Also, if you ever want to work with me on any projects for automations, there's also a link for that. So thank you for watching and see you in the next one.